That is exactly what they charged him. He was convicted on.
What was the crime?
It's New York state law.
I understand. What was the crime?
It is
My buddy Michael Knowles went on Piers Morgan and got into it with a leftist who was trying to defend the Trump conviction.
In the early Trump campaign, the Democrats tried to stop him from being president by spying on him and cooking up fake intelligence, ironically enough, with Russia. And that didn't work. Then they tried to throw him out by impeaching him twice. That didn't work. Then they tried to kick him out by rigging the election and changing all the voter rules, in some cases in contravention of state constitutions leading up to that election. That did get him out of office, and he did leave office, but then he didn't go away. He kept running again. So then they indicted him 4 times. Now they've convicted him. They're going to threaten to throw him in prison. Pretty soon they're going to threaten to send him to St. Helena. But this has absolutely nothing to do with the law. As was noted earlier, at most you're talking about a misdemeanor that would have already expired under the statute of limitations. I'm not even convinced that there was really a misdemeanor that Trump committed. So my fellow panelist here is celebrating that the rule of law has been vindicated and overturned 234 years of American legal tradition. I would challenge her to see if she could possibly articulate how and what crime Trump committed, because so far Alvin Bragg, the DA, has failed to do so. The judge in the case, Judge Merchan, has failed to do so. And they can't do it because Trump didn't commit any of the crimes for which he's been convicted.
Well, let's just ask quickly before I go to Kevin. Francesca, just on that point, what crime did Trump commit?
It was financial crimes. It was white collar crimes. That is exactly what they charged him. He was convicted on.
What was the crime?
It's New York state law.
I understand. What was the crime?
It is New.
Francesca,
I don't even like it. It is literally he just got convicted on 34 counts.
Francesca, what was the crime?
Of like cooking the actual books.
What was the crime?
You are not allowed. So you are not allowed to use your own financial, like your own money, to pay off somebody, and then he logged it as something different. He logged it as just a regular payment, but he was actually paying off this porn star to keep quiet, which, if he hadn't been running for president, would not have mattered, but he was, and so it impacted campaign finance laws in New York State. Okay, that is what Juan Merchan just oversaw this. Okay. Alvin Bragg got these charges because Michael Cohen, his fixer, was already sentenced to 3 years to do it.
Okay, let's just go before Kevin. I'd be very, very, very patient. We'll come to you.
Look, I'm no expert. Let me just say, hang on.
No,
Michael,
Francesca.
You are no expert. That's right.
Because
the campaign finance law is a federal law.
Hang on, anyway, Francesca. I want to go to Mark. You're the lawyer. Is anything Francesca just said, is that actually the crime?
Look, let me just say, I like Francesca a lot, and we probably agree on 80% of our worldviews. However, Francesca, the way you just described it, call me afterwards and I'll educate you, because that's not what happened. There was no theory that was given to the jurors. The jurors were told it could have been campaign finance, it could have been tax, it could have been false books. They were told they didn't have to specify, and specifically told they did not have to agree unanimously. That's what irks me. Lifelong Democrat, no fan of Trump, never voted for Trump, never will. But I will tell you, as somebody who has spent his entire career with kind of taking on unpopular causes and holding the government accountable, I have to tell you, I do that for a reason. And the reason is this kind of shenanigans, and that's the best light I can spin it on, in the criminal courts, has no place in a federal election.
No, I agree.
The campaign finance laws were federal, not state, and the state laws had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, lady, we are agreed on one thing. You are no expert. First off, she explains this whole thing, and then the way that Mark Garagos, he's the lawyer in the middle, got really famous during the O.J. Simpson thing. Then, of course, there's Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, and then Knowles and Piers. The way they all laugh when she tries to give this explanation, because again, she even knows it's absurd that a payout, I'm going to have to say it more than one more time throughout my career, but a payout to a porn star that was listed on a ledger as a legal expense, which it is, that they are claiming in turn, because he was running for president, had something to do with illegal campaign finance. He might have paid her off having nothing to do with running for president. He star, okay, zippity dippity. Hey, don't click away just yet, because today's video is brought to you by our friends at 1775 Coffee. Guys, instead of waking up tomorrow morning and drinking your mold-infested, big corporation-owned, woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with, Try Rumble 1775 Coffee. Support freedom of speech and build a parallel economy that actually values you. Go to 1775 Coffee right now and pick up your first bag. Use code Rubin to save 10% off your first order.